Oops. Trying to set this up here. See if this is it. The stove, I can wipe the stove down in a little while. I would like to get it up over food, but I don't want the food counter. I'm gonna wipe the stove off though. Wait a minute. I guess I could have cleaned the bottom of the feet with alcohol or something. Whatever. I'm very tidy. So, all right. Wash it. All right. I keep one towel for the dishes and the other one over there. Where's my hand? Over there I keep for wiping the countertop. So I don't know. I can't see. Maybe I should turn this thing around. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wash my hands again. All right, so I'll turn it around. Wait a minute. All right. Switch it around. That way I can see what I'm doing. Now, I don't know how good I'm doing there. All right. Well, this is the salad I always make. So what I did first, the avocados have to be somewhat firm. You see there's like avocado smeared around the inside. So, they can't be completely firm or you won't be able to get them out of the skins very easily and they'll be a little bitter. But I soaked these in lime juice, 2 whole limes. I saved the rinds here. I'll put those in my drinks because it's good for you. And, put that in the cup with the drink, whatever it is, juice or water or whatever. So I'm saving those. I smell great with that lime. The lime keeps them from turning brown. So I did that in here. Now to do the avocados, you cut them. I wash the skin in the sink, and then I cut them all the way around in half. There's a pit in the middle. Some of them are bigger and some of them are smaller. This one had a particularly big pit. So then you cut it all the way around, and then you put the knife and you push. And if the avocado is just about the right ripeness, you'll be able to pull it in half. Sometimes you got to clean a little bit of the pit out, especially if you're trying to get them when they're still firm. So then you take the knife, and there's probably a mark in here where I did it, but anyway, you take the knife and you whack it. Obviously, it's not going to move around like that when it's in the avocado. Very carefully, you whack it into the seed and you give it a little twist and pop it out. You got to be careful you don't cut yourself. As you can see, I wash my hands a lot when I'm doing stuff. And I put my hands behind my back and I cough out of the kitchen. All right, so now I put, I'm not going to turn the light on. Hold on. And I'll turn it on with the back. With the back of my hand, because I already washed them. Well, that didn't help much, did it? I'm going to push this with the back of my hand. So I have to keep washing them. That's olive oil, ground black pepper. That's always fun to do. So if you give it a little shake, and I'll do that for you in front of you there so you can hear how enjoyable it is. I could load it up with black pepper. It's not going to hurt my fingers. All right, and I already put a lot in there, so that's good. Now, as far as salt, this is pink Himalayan sea salt, and I'm just gonna, I don't know if the Himalayas are mountains. I don't know what kind of sea is on top of the mountains. It's very big. It doesn't come out of there fast. I didn't put a lot of salt. So this, I put an X on it, but I don't know what was in here. Oh, it was the rest of my mint. Yeah, no, I don't know what that was. It smells good. And then also I have maybe a little Italian seasoning. Oops. Oopsie. Where do you think you go? And I won't use it all up. Better clean this off. Make it a mess. Yeah, the top broke because I was angry and I threw it because someone was telling me that I'm never going to see my children again and I have no right to press myself into their lives. And I was just like, and I just, something like that was being said and I just threw it. I was really angry. I miss my children. There's nothing wrong with feeling anger, especially if it's about something that's worth feeling angry about, right? Like missing children who are abused. I love my children. That's why I'm making this video. I'm certainly not making it for the perpetrators who are predating me. So now I have real onion I'm going to put in there, and I actually have real garlic that I'm going to put in there, so that's good. All right, so these I'm going to save. These are I halved them and then turned them inside out and squeeze as much juice out of them as I can. I'm going to save those to put in my drink. And then, put this back over here. All right, so I put some Italian herbs in there, whatever that other herb was. I couldn't really tell by the smell. It might have been the rest of them. No, it wasn't mint. I do have mint. I don't know what it was. I thought it was mint. This is mint here. Well, I got to take the top off it to really get it out. I chopped this up myself. Came from Nico's garden. But Nico says things that really upset me sometimes. He said I don't have a right to say if a child's being abused subtly or, outwardly, that I don't have a right to say anything to defend that child if it's not my child. And I'm like, no, you are absolutely wrong. You're absolutely wrong. You're really angering me. And I had to hang up the phone. He says things that are wrong sometimes, and then he'll say sarcastically, I always say the wrong thing. I'm like, it doesn't make it right. So I'll show you how I cut the tomatoes. I washed them. I cut them in half. See how they're also a little firm. And 1, 2, so you got 3 pieces. These are small ones. 1, 2, so you got 9 pieces, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's what that looks like. And I do it in this order, right? Because the tomatoes are going to soak in the juices. Just a little bit of avocado that I scraped out of the skins afterward, but I'm not going to put it in the salad because it's messy. Another person called me to argue with me and tell me that I'm stupid. I can't take it anymore. I'm just trying to be calm. So I appreciate some of the things he says. He's a friend. That's why I talk to him, but he's losing it. A lot of people are. Yeah, you hear that? Hear how they're pounding and wailing on my walls and my ceiling? They do this to me every day and night. When I mind my own business and I'm calm, they just keep pounding and pounding. They're not nice people at all. Not nice people at all. And they don't like children. Not in a good way. Not in a good way. Well, I do. Yep, I put this is made for children. It says kids. That's really bottlenecking me. It's made for kids. Kidnap baby satanic goats. What's a kid? Right? They're called children, man. kids are kidnapped, right? Yes, they are, but they're still called kids. So, I mean, they're still called children. See, I'm tired, and they're messing with me. All right, so cut this here. 1, 2. So I cut 2 one way, 2 one way, and these particular tomatoes come out about that size. I'm just going to get them all soaking in that. Oh, what is it? It is balsamic vinegar, apple cider vinegar. I put more of the apple cider vinegar because I actually put a bit of both. I like vinegar. But it'll help keep the avocados from browning. It'll help the salad last longer. And this salad that I'm making, I could put it on a sandwich wrap with some cheese and mustard, or I could just have it by itself. You know, it's versatile, right? Versatile. And you probably can't see my hand too good what I'm doing there, but that's how I'm cutting. And you can see they're firm enough that they're not crushing. You want to try to sharpen your knife so that you can slice your tomato. You know, if you're doing like I'm doing and cutting on a plate, you're gonna have to sharpen your knife eventually pretty quickly. Try to put it so you can see. So 1 cut, 2 cut. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, don't cut your finger. There you go. Yeah, I know this is annoying on the plate, but I'm saving it. I don't want to waste it. I'll find a place to put it. Yeah, it is annoying to look at. I just don't like to waste it because it's a piece of avocado and I'm going to use it. But I'll put it over here for now. Just like that. I'll rinse this plate off. I'll move this over here. I'll rinse this plate off so I can start with a clean plate. All right. I miss my children so very much. I hope you see this video because I'm making this salad for y'all. For y'all's is this. All right. So now I'm just going to turn that through there, right? But there's a couple other things I want to put in there first. Oh, that looks so good. Look at that. I know it looks really vinegary, but don't worry. There's a lot more going in this salad. And acid is always cooled down by... Now, even when things are in a package, like these are in a package, what I like to do is I like to make sure it's cold water. Rinse the package off because... you know, things get handled by sweaty grocers and people that are moving stuff, and it's dirty. But the thing inside is very clean because it's packaged at the factory so that they don't have to put extra shellac on it, I suppose, which is what some places do. They spray shellac on it. It's like a waxy shellac. So I'm just going to cut that in half. Take the plastic off of it. I got a lot of stress I'm dealing with. 10 eviction notices. Obviously, everything that the police and the mental health say about me is untrue. I'm not a criminal. I'm not mentally ill. But, I mean, anybody in a situation where their children are stolen and they're being pressured literally, physically, and mentally almost to death, and in some cases to death, you know, a person reacts differently than they normally would. So I guess with this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut half, right? And I can leave it like that. Do I want to cut it again? Yeah, I do. I'm going to cut it in quarters. All right. So basically, I've cut pickle spears out of it. I'll do the same with this one. Half. Roll it over. It doesn't have to be perfect. That wasn't perfect. Put the ends together and cut. And how they're banging on my walls. Hear that? Because I'm ignoring them. That's why they're doing that. It's really upsetting. It creates stress day and night. I'm constantly under great stress because of what they're doing to me. All right, so there's those. We'll put those in there. I didn't cut my garlic up yet. I got to cut up garlic and onion. I usually cut that up and put that in the mix. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead. See, I keep a little jar here. When I got a half of a bulb of garlic, pieces I put in there. I'm going to show you. It took me a while to learn how to do garlic, how to get it out of the shell. So basically, I'm trying to do it over the sink. You get all the excess skin off the outside, right, over the sink or the garbage. I don't like to touch or work near the garbage too much when I'm cooking. I usually throw everything in the sink and then clean it up later. All right, so then you break all these apart, all these pieces, and I don't do it over the plate because I don't want all that straw, all over the plate there, because you don't want to eat that part. There's the base of the garlic. Throw it all in the sink. So what you do, take the garlic, give it a little squeeze and twist, and then you just basically, hopefully, that won't work with extremely fresh garlic. It's a little trickier, but it beats what some people do where they smash it like that. I don't want to do it. I just want to eat clove like that because I don't want to smash the juice out of it. So I'm just going to keep doing that. Keep squeezing and flexing those and getting the skins off of them, like so. See how they're knocking in my wall? See how they're harassing me? That's not people living. That's people harassing me. And sometimes it gets so bad, I actually cry. The other day, the woman was yelling at me. She's like, just settle down in there. You're not going to get your children back. That's what she said. And I cussed. I said a cuss word, and they called the cops and told the cops that I threatened them, and they gave me a 10th eviction notice. That's what this is all about. She knows about my children, and she abused children that were living with her for a while as well, that were her daughter's children. Oh, it's none of my business. You're not supposed to say. Yes, it is. When children are being abused, it's everyone's business. And that's why I spend almost every day of my life being tailed, trailed, harassed, threatened to be murdered, and or, wounded, and trying to keep this positive here. That's what's going on. That's why I have so many accusations, including national security threat and all this other nonsense against me, because they don't want the children to be empowered to say what y'all did to us was wrong. How you ran us on your school buses and put us through your school systems and taught us to be psychic warriors and fist fight and have sex with each other. This is made for children, but children need to be able, I'm not saying any dirty words, children need to be able to hear the truth. If children can't hear or handle basic truth like that, then the parents are doing a bad job. And that is for me to say, Nico. That is for me to say. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut these down the middle to make them a little smaller, maybe a couple times. And then just chop, chop, chop my way to a happier me. I'm going to give these another dicing because they're not really fine enough. I used to do them in the food processor, but it gets stuck to the side, and the food processor does a good job. But if I'm only cutting up, a good half a bulb or so of garlic, I'm not gonna. Yeah, fresh garlic is hot, man. It's really hot and spicy. This one is cool. It's got a little plant growing out of it. You can actually plant that, and it'll grow another whole bulb. I have never done it yet because they took my house, they took my children, my cars, everything from me. So I've not gotten around to growing garlic yet. So now what I'll do, always when you're chopping, instead of chopping like this where everything goes flying, just roll the knife and it actually cuts easier. See, if you just roll the knife like that, and then, they're all getting away. So then you just scrape them back like that. And take your time, Hassan chop. Like that, see? I don't laugh at the things Nico laughs at all the time. I know why he calls that girl Hassan, and that's not nice. But she's also not nice, so. They were all abused. Thing is, because it choose to do the right things, and these people straining at a gnat and swallowing a mountain, right? It's a reference to wine. I know it went on the table there. It's garlic, antibacterial. I clean this counter pretty good with bleach cleaner. All right. It's not the cutting board, but so you see what I'm doing, and then it just chops it up a little finer. You really don't want to get surprised by a giant piece of garlic, especially if you're not particularly a garlic eater, which was actually a derogatory term for Italians years ago, but I would take it as a compliment. I like garlic. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that. Yeah, right, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of garlic. You will like it, and you will like it good. It's not that bad. All right, and then some onion. I'm hoping these are sweet onions, but the good thing is, these are small onions. And the same thing I do with the garlic, I take off the extra skin over the sink. These are small onions. So rather than cut it with the paper, I call it the paper. It's kind of like paper, right? Cut the top off of it. See how I go around the top like that? Go like this. See? So that I don't slip and cut myself. Then cut the side a little bit. And I usually take off. Wow, I got to take off a couple layers there. This one was a little overripe. See, it's a little translucent looking. It was a little overripe. See how they're pounding on my wall because I'm talking to my children and doing something wholesome. They don't like what I'm telling people because these are the people that abused me when I was a child. And it just so happens that the mental health system and the police, who took my house illegally and sold it illegally, took my children, took my car, took my business, took my music studio, took everything from me. It just so happens that, they put me in here with all these, not randomly, with these people that abused me when I was a child. And it's just pretty specific, See, that's not dirty. Children can hear that. That's not a dirty thing I'm saying. That's reality, and children need to know reality. If you don't want your children to know reality, especially when the whole world is watching, then they're going to know reality and you're going to be ashamed later. That's the facts. I mean, definitely don't let children listen to some of the language I use, but I haven't used any dirty language here. So, and I'm going to do the same with this. I'm going to try to cut it as small without cutting myself. Really don't want to hit the floor. So what I do, rather than touch the floor while I'm cooking, I will just try not to step in it until I'm done with this step, and then I'll pick it up, put it in the sink. Look, they're literally knocking at my wall. These are the same people who the other day called the police and told them that I was disturbing them, when really what they did, they were in the community room. They saw me come in, they scowled at me, they ran home, smacked the kitchen wall because I was trying to prepare myself some food. I wasn't even in the house but a few minutes, not even. And then told me, just settle down in there, because I started cussing, just settle down in there. And then she went outside to my door and she said, you're never going to get your children back. You can't have your children back. That's what she said. And she said it twice and then maybe even a third time down the hall. And I opened my door and I said, I got to say something. And I said, what did you say? And she said, you heard what I said. And the other lady goes, oh. I said, leave me the F alone. Stay the F away from me. I'm not bothering y'all. I'm minding my own business. You wait for me to come home. You start trouble with me. She goes, that's it. I'm calling the police. So these criminal police actually made a criminal police report. Wait till you hear this whole story. Made a criminal police report. They won't even make a report about my missing children. I have video of them standing right there ignoring. Like, oh, we don't know where the children are. And smiling. Literally smiling. Wait till you see what's going to happen to those police. I know they might have families, but they are going to be arrested for what they're doing. Yes, they are. And the people who are in jail serving their time like gentlemen for crimes they actually committed that are sorry for their crimes, and I'm sorry that they're in an abusive system. I feel the Holy Spirit will not be glad to see those police in jail, but will be glad for justice because it's long time needed. It's not right. Not just because of who you are or how much money or what kind of lawyer or how wealthy you are. That's ridiculous. The whole system is corrupt. So I'm just going to keep dicing this up till I'm satisfied that it's small. Yeah, there's a lot here, so it tends to. I'm cutting this one squarely down. Anyhow, what happens is this. So then the corrupt people at the office who will not now let me pay my rent, and they actually had me criminally trespassed from both locations to pay my rent, which is, I mean, it's just ridiculous, right? Because they tried every angle, right? Trespassing, verbal assault. I said, surely what these people are doing to me is a verbal manslaughter, you know? And even trying to hit me with a car and everything, crazy stuff, right? So then what happens is this lady, she's an advocate for me. She's very kind. She's a, she does realty, and she came over and looked at this apartment and said, this is outstanding. You're a gourmet chef. The other guy does psychology. She does realty. And they're both involved in clergy, which I don't care for, but that's another story. And they called the police to say, to back off of me because this is ridiculous what they're doing to me. I'm wondering if that's too much on me. I'm going to go for it. It's not burning my eyes, so I think they're sweet onions. And they'll calm down in the mix. And I'm just going to brush all this off the counter and clean that piece off the floor. So what happens is this. She calls there, and they say, we don't have any reports against him. We have no notes here about that apartment. And I said to her, you see what they're doing? Everything they're doing is so-called off the books or falsified charges when it is on the books. And this is how they've done it my whole life. And the things that they did put on the book, they made them so grossly scary. I've actually read them. It'll say psychotic, schizophrenic, delusional, paranoid, retarded, which is basically 75 IQ. That was the first one I ever got. And a lot of horrible things. And supposedly I had a police rap sheet where I did actually go to a maximum security prison house several times, and I was jailed twice for obstructing the government, obstruction of governmental administration, and resisting arrest. That's ridiculous, right? Of course I'm going to resist. What am I being arrested for? We don't have to tell you that. We'll tell you after we get to the station. We'll find something and we'll make it up. And this is what they've done to me my whole life, especially when I came out of the closet, because what they do is they keep a blackmail or a tickle file on people. So anyway, that's what happened. She called there. There is no official police report about me. Right? But yet it's on the eviction notice, the 10th eviction notice. So this is what they do. They call it a tickle file, because they make you feel uncomfortable. Oh, is that bad? I can't tell children that? Of course I can. They make you feel uncomfortable. This is what they do to adults. This is why mommies and daddies everywhere are so stressed out and not always the nicest tools in the shed. And sometimes they're not nice. That's part of it too. But anyway, wonderful salad here. Getting there. I'm gonna put this one in it. It can fit. Give a little cut there so I can get this off. You see why I clean the packaging, right? So I'm not contaminating my workspace with somebody's sweat or whatever, right? So yeah, that's about it. I don't want to talk about this negative too much, but that's why they're pounding the walls or trying to keep me exacerbated and in a state of panic. And they have this so-called rap sheet on me that says I'm a dangerous person, and I'm not. They did the same thing to my father when I was little, and he spent a long time trying to see me and get to me. And he would find me places sometimes, and it was a lot to deal with. It wasn't like he just left me, but it was confusing because my stepfather, who looked very similar to my father, was clearly not the same person. He would leave me. And years later, I saw pictures of things I remembered, just like Katie did. That's why I called the song Katie is Brave. And yes, I remember that. So, and then what? It's like I don't want to talk about it to people because why? Because they're vigilante and they want to go find somebody to persecute other than themselves, right? And their own immediate families. Yes, they're like the person in the Bible who, was forgiven, millions of dollars and then went out and shook somebody down for $5,000. That's what kind of people they are. They're not nice. I mean, people are not their sins. Now you see the garlic going around there, see? And I'm scooping up the juices, see, from the bottom down there. Notice I didn't put the avocados in there yet. That's right, because I have to turn them gently. That's right. I got this from the dollar store. I'm not even allowed at the dollar store anymore. I'm banned from the dollar store. I'm banned from ShopRite. I'm banned from Hannaford's. I'm banned from 71 physical locations. And none of it, as you can hear me talking, none of it is because I'm an unreasonable person. It's because many unreasonable people have come to town and they're angry as hell because somebody's exposing the entire system and they don't like it. And I happen to be at the so-called epicenter of attention concerning the exposure, even though I was not abused the worst out of all the children, but I was probably physically and sexually abused the longest out of all the children. The other ones it's kind of hard to explain because they kind of became consensual after a while. They just thought, it's just Satan's fallen world. That's what they were taught. There's no other way. You must comply or else, we'll send you back to the loony bin or the prison house and you don't want that again. So that's what they did to the children. That's really wrong. My oldest grew up that way and it's really wrong what they did to her. I didn't know her my whole life. All right, so now what am I looking for here? Oh, yeah. This is a good one. This is a good one. I'm wondering if I should put 2 in there. I think I will. Yeah, I will put 2 in there. So, again, I'm going to wash off the labels with cold water. See, they want to stop me from doing stuff like this because it's proof to people, that there's some reason coming out of me and I'm not just this mad monster that they're telling people, right? And that scares them because they know they're busted and their time is short, right? That's right. Some children know the Bible. Right, so now Frankie knows the Bible, but I don't always agree with Frankie, but I get out of Frankie's way because Frankie was abused. That boy was abused. See, now that's going to go in recycling. I'll rinse it out later. But that's why I wash the packaging. So don't have to fiddle and fondle with other people's sweat or, just germ contamination. It only takes a second to rinse it off, right? There's the other thing, right? People who argue lazy points. You're a germaphobe. No, I'm not a germaphobe. I just don't like dirty stuff. It's not a germaphobe. I'm not the cleanest tool in the shed. I wore the shirt yesterday. I did take a shower, but I put the same shirt back on because I don't feel like doing pounds of laundry and the clocks are wrong. And, I have to take multiple showers to survive because of all the toxicity in the air and the radiation making me sick. So I'm trying to eat healthy, and I had all this food, and it's not ice cold, but overly cold because they tamper with my refrigerator. I turned my refrigerator on and off. I wasn't going to say any of this stuff because I was trying so hard to be positive, but it's not negative, and that's what they taught us, and they're wrong. It's not negative to tell people that you're being abused. Help, I'm being abused. Oh, that's nothing. We all grew up that way. No, it is something, and children need to have a voice, and that's what we, the people who actually care, are working on changing, and that's why, even though I'm not a perfect soul, that's why I've been so tortured and abused. It's to the point where, hit by about 8 cars in a couple of years. And 2 of them almost broke my back in half. One almost broke my shoulder and my knee, and the other one almost broke my back. And it was on purpose. It was on purpose that they hit me because they're sick. Oh, yeah, you can hear those amplified traffic sounds like my little cousin or is she my daughter or my cousin? I don't know. Apparently, it's been told to me, not apparently it's so, but apparently it's been told to me that I have more children than I realized that I had even, which is already quite a few. She said, I don't have ADHD. I just can't concentrate because people are mean and the traffic and the noises are so loud and people are mean. And they told her you have ADHD and you need to be medicated, on life stifling, quality of life stifling, muscular stifling, genetically stifling drugs that make you feel crazy and stupid so they can continue to mess with you because you're particularly a person of interest. Oh, yes, this absolutely has to be exposed because children need to be free. I'm going to use the big spoon to turn this so that I don't mangle it. Yes, now I will insert, and not those chopped up pieces. I'll save those for something else. I'll eat those separately. I want all these nice, neat pieces and that lime juice in there. All that lime juice. Most of it anyway. I don't want to lose that lime juice. That's what keeps the avocados from turning brown. Otherwise, they might have already started to turn brown. I'm just going to turn them very gently. I've already overturned it more than I normally would, but it's quite a huge bowl, and I want to make sure. I'm not going to pick that up and put it back in, but I'll eat it. I'm going to put it like this. That's what I like. That's what I like. All right. So, looks messy, but it's not. Maybe I could have put a little less vinegar and olive oil in it, but that's the salad, man. And if I let it sit, the onions and the garlic will calm down and they'll blend. I cover it with a plastic wrap. That's what I do. So I'll eat that there. I will eat that. And I will wipe this counter off real good so that, no little sugar bugs or anything can find a nice meal out of the deal. And this plate I'll rinse off and I'll use it to prepare myself some. Yeah, right now, if I serve it right now, that garlic's going to be jumping. And I don't mind. I like that garlic. See, now when I do that, because I set it on the counter, I wipe the top of the plate first and then the bottom of the plate. I always try to do things, usually, almost always, as if somebody might come over and want some. Not that I would want them to do that to me just to aggravate me. But if somebody was hungry, I wasn't sticking my spoon or my fingers or my tongue in their food, because that's really wrong to do. It's not nice. All right. So, take this out. Get some of that from the bottom. Make sure I get plenty of that garlic mixed through there. Just get a nice even spoonful here. And put it on the plate, and I'll show you how I plate it. Just gonna get covered. Now what I do is I take this 100-year-old balsamic, according to the clock, and it's a balsamic glaze, so it's very sweet. See, look at that. Bam. Oh, all that for that little bit of food? Yep. Oh yeah. And I'm going to take some toast. I will never buy these again. Yeah, right. I'm putting the bag on the counter. I will never buy these again because I didn't know how much they were when I got up to the counter, but I just took them because I needed something to eat. And I try to get in and out of a store because people are not the nicest. So, yeah, these were like $5. I'm like, no way. I could have got a big bag of restaurant style no-name chips that weren't shaped a different way for, $1.99 or something. $2.99, no, $2.50 or $1.99. So this was on sale, or I would never have bought it for $3. Then when I got up to the counter, they tried to give it to me at full price. I was like, This is salsa verde. I got ripped off on Amazon again. It was really upsetting. They're messing with me. They stole my money, and then they moved an item, so I couldn't find it. And then they gave me the incorrect spelling of it, so I couldn't find it. And I had to pay $30 for a $19 item. So, you know, and I'm still waiting to get my money back, whatever. Like, you know, the whole thing, right? Scammers. That's what they do. Scammers. Not nice people. So, coleslaw. There's the spoon. I didn't use it for anything but cooking. I'll take a little coleslaw. Put it right there. Yeah, I could use a spoon to eat. I think I will. I didn't want to show you the spoon in the picture, though. I messed up my plating. There it is. Look. Yummy, yummy. I know that was a little spicy. I don't know if my children... Yeah, I'll eat this now. Now that the plating is done, I'll just body slam it on there. Oh, yeah. Yummy, yummy. See, like in the future, children of the future, you know, they'll say things like, what's a body slam, Dad? What's a bullet, Grandpa? Wouldn't that be great? That would be awesome, right? Oh, bullets what we used to have when we had to hunt for food, and then men started using bullets to hurt each other. It was a very difficult time. We'll never again erase history. What's the national anthem? And the bombs were red glare. No, that's not the national anthem. So stop the nonsense. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. See? Oh, they just started it right outside the house, right? As soon as they get outside, right out here, right? And then it's grossly amplified by the magical powers of Satan, right? Oh, boy. Because they don't like truth. They don't like good feelings. They don't like reality. Because they're afraid they're not allowed to have that. And they are. So I don't usually eat over the counter, but... Very good. Mine's up. For you. Patisserie. Patisserie. Maybe you're saying somebody's name. Nummy. I got living in my tummy. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is like sexual innuendos and stuff is really socially and spiritually and mentally retarded. The people who are slow are not retarded. They're beautiful. They've been retarded by their circumstances, but they're not willfully or wantonly retarded. People who sing about, you know, my underpants are sweaty and wet. Those people are freaking retarded. So that's how I wrap it up. And then I leave it out of the little nozzle there. Leave the spoon right in it. Put it in my fridge. Yep. Oh, is it bad to say that to children? Oh, I didn't know it was bad to say that to children, to tell them the truth, that the people on their television are sick. Why can't they know that? Oh, because that's their cousins. So my cousins are sick. Shouldn't the children know that? Right? Yes, they should. And then, what was I going to say about anything? That was good to close out. Yeah, they turn my refrigerator off. They mess with everything. No, it's not random. It's all to cause stress. It's not random. I was trying to think what I was trying to finish out, what to say. Oh, yeah, the little girl. I have a video of her on the Sonic Alchem. Couldn't put Sonic Alchem Y with a Y because somebody had already taken it. Put Sonic Alchem was a brief channel I had, and I curse in the video. I feel embarrassed. I say a cuss word. I didn't know. You know, I was raised really wrong by some really wrong people. But those children were missing also. And some of them were reported potentially to be in a place, what may or may not have been, a place called Bushy, England, in some experiment where children live without parents alone and try to get along and survive. I don't know, some sick situation. Their parents were sick too. So, but the little girl, Lauren, she goes, Mike. I said, what? She said, hips don't lie. What is that? Hips don't even talk. I was like, no, they don't. I thought the same thing. It's a ridiculous lyric. She goes, I know, right? And then she goes off and tells a dirty joke. But see, like, some things go over a child's head, even though they're being programmed with dirty thinking. You know, some of it just goes, and that's kind of what happened with me. So there's always like that saving remission, whatever they call it, factor, you know, where you can really rescue someone from a lifetime of abuse based on, you know, like Nicole, you know, and then they put it in the video. I know I shouldn't leave my dirty arms on the counter. Surely there was a time when you just climbed a tree or something. And she said, when you're molested as a child, you become a sex addict. And I said, yeah, that's true. I know that's true. But, you know, surely you had a wagon that you liked, or you played with your favorite stick, or climbed on the fence and held on a branch. And it's like, look how I can balance if I hold on to this stick or something, you know. And she goes, well, yeah, there was that. And then immediately this Billie Eilish video comes out, says, no, I go to bellyache. And it shows the girl pulling a wagon through the desert. So like, quit your belly aching kind of thing, I guess. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, there's a lot of lyrics in those Billie Eilish songs about me, and some of them are very dirty. Well, I can't say that to children. I can't tell children that's what's on their regular TV that they're being given to watch, that they can't know the difference between good and evil. Are you serious? Like, what? You people are sicker than one could hope, right? That you would not be. So I think I might just leave this on live because people are harassing me and they're hanging outside my door. It's really upsetting. Really upsetting. I guess I'll turn it off. Thanks for watching. You want to see it one more time in better lighting? Sure. I ate some of it. I messed it up already, and I threw the extra pieces on top, so it would look better than that, obviously. The plating would look neater, right? Well, that's it. So there you go. Have a great, wonderful. I love you and I miss you. And yes, my daughter, who I saw at the Speedway Market on the corner of Union Avenue and Windsor with a D, Windsor, SOR, Highway, HWY period, RT period, Route 32, Windsor Highway, and Union Avenue. It was called Speedway. It's now called Mobile. That's where you were when I saw you. And yes, I saw that you were scared, and I didn't know what to say, and I did say what I knew to say, and that the Holy Spirit gave me utterance. I said, if you remember what I said, that child looks grossly similar to, and I was very passive so that it couldn't be accused that I was hurting somebody. I said, that child looks very similar to and or related to one of my missing children who I haven't seen in years. And she looked at me like this the whole time before I said a word. She recognized me before I recognized her. Her hair was straight and it was blonde. It was not red. All right. Your father loves you. I miss all of you. Thanks. I hope you see. And I'm sure with everything you've been through that you can withstand to hear the things I talked about. I mean, because this revelation is coming. Coming, not what they mean. It's coming. It's happening for everybody. It's going to be revelations, revealings, not Armageddon, destruction, dying, suffering. It's going to be a big change, a really big change. I love you. Bye.